Well, I don't have much evidence for changes in the relations, but I think the main thing that has changed is the better opportunities for parents to help their children. So if you look at intergenerational relations, it's mostly parents who help their children. Only at very old age, children start to help their parents. And so the generations that thus far have grown old are simply richer today than they were like 30 or 50, 40, 50 years ago, and they're more frequently homeowner. And richness and homeownership are both factors that enhance the opportunities to help children. So I think that's the main change. I don't think that will happen in the near future. So what will happen is that, well, at first the younger generations will need more help. But because we still have the generations growing older that have lived in prosperous times, it'll take a while before things are going the other way around. But in a far future, there will be older generations who will have great difficulties. I think it's very unlikely that that would happen. It might be because I have too little fantasy to to think of such a change. But when we look at the recent past, and I mean the past of a few decades, I think the relations between generations have improved since the 1960s, 1970s. And even in the 1960s, 1970s, when people talked about the generation gap, it wasn't that bad. Well, it will make some difference, but it might be different for different people. So it is a known fact that relations are a bit worse if parents have divorced, especially relations with fathers. But then on the other hand, some people who form new families, step families, develop new relations with step parents or stepchildren that might really enrich their lives. So this whole picture that divorce leads to distress and nothing else, I think is not completely correct. And even among divorced parents, the relations often remain quite good. So many divorced people say they're still friends, and then probably the relations with their children will not be that bad either, and there will be new people in the family. So it might have, well, of course there are people who have very negative experiences with parental divorce. Yeah, well, childless people, the number of childless or the share of childless people is not that much bigger than it used to be. But because we have aging, there will be more older people, and older people are often widows or widowers. So there will be more in the future. There will be more people living alone who might need a contact. But I don't really see why the fact that there will be more makes it more difficult. It might be even easier because it's more normal or normative. And I would think that, like for example, internet will help develop communities, and I don't see why things are going to be more difficult than they are now. Yes, but as I said, the share of childless people is not that much bigger than it used to be. It's still a minority, so it's maybe 20-25%. In Germany, it might be a bit more, but if you would think of majorities in voting, well, there won't be a childless majority. I don't think people show necessarily less solidarity if they're single. I think many people without children still see the importance of younger generations growing up, and so they might not have grandchildren, but they might have nieces and nephews, and so I don't really see a big problem here.